Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. We're going to be talking about that damn Nick Wright. Okay, we're going to be talking about that damn Nick Wright. You know, for a fan base that spends their entire time talking about how people like myself and others are fixated with LeBron James, you guys sure do spend a lot of time trying to convince people that LeBron is better than Michael Jordan. You guys spend a lot of time and, dare I say, a lot of resources trying to convince people that LeBron is somehow on Jordan's level. Look, I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. LeBron is a great player. I don't think he's close to Michael Jordan. I don't think so. I've seen LeBron play for his entire NBA career. At no point in time did I say to myself, you know what, man, this guy may be as good as Jordan. I'm sorry, I don't believe so. I'm sorry, I don't believe so. This is going off of stats, accolades, and the eye test. I think Jordan clears him easily with the eye test. It's not even a question. Accolades, there's nothing to discuss. Now, cumulative stats, because LeBron has been playing for 45,000 years, yeah, of course. But if you got another player that's great that comes along and he plays for 30 years, he's going to eclipse all of LeBron's stats. And all of a sudden, now counting stats have value. When Kareem was the leading scorer in NBA history, I never heard LeBron fans saying, oh, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the leading, he's the greatest of all time. The minute LeBron, oh, now he's the greatest player of all time. And these people have been taking one shot after the other. The news broke about a week or so ago that Michael Jordan is going to be stepping into the NBA media space. Broke the entire internet. Everyone was elated. And I said during that show, the one group of people that are not going to be happy with this is LeBron fans and his supporters. Why? Because these guys have had a stranglehold over the media now for years. And they've been able to deceive a many of young, impressionable kids who don't know a damn thing about basketball. And he got a bunch of people actually believing that it's a real thing. Talking Michael Jordan, they believe it's a real thing, even though it's a conversation that's made up of a bunch of smoke and mirrors. Absolutely zero substance to it. Now, I knew that it was these LeBron fans and these guys were going to be threatened by Jordan's presence, but I didn't know to the extent that they were going to be threatened and just how disgusting and low down they were willing to go, until I came across an article this morning from fadeawayworld.net with the simple headline saying this: Nick Wright disrespects Michael Jordan for his gambling issues amid MJ's partnership with NBC. And I said, of course, who else is surprised by a LeBron fan? But before we even get into what Nick Wright had to say, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Prize Picks. Okay, so let's get into this report here. It says, Michael Jordan, the NBA legend, recently came up in the news after NBC announced its partnership. Jordan is set to become a special contributor to NBC's upcoming coverage of the NBA. Throughout his career, Jordan has usually stayed away from taking up any media roles. Therefore, this news came as a shock to every NBA fan. Nick Wright, the sports analyst of Fox News, went on his podcast to address his opinion on the news about MJ. He faked his enthusiasm and sarcastically expressed his delight to see Jordan join NBC until he ended his message with a shot at Jordan's history with gambling. Wright said, Michael Jordan is going to join NBC as a contributor. NBC is a different network, but fair is fair. I got to give credit where it's due. I mean, if they're going to use him the way he should be used, that is going to be an unbelievable addition. And by that, I mean, he should be their gambling expert. Jordan's gambling history has been well documented. Conspiracy theorists even believe that gambling had a role in Jordan's second retirement, saying that the league suspended him for his gambling and disguised it as a retirement. Jordan has clarified that that wasn't true. Okay. Well, since Nick Wright went there, I guess we should talk about it too. Maybe LeBron should join ESPN and explain to fans how to be fit. You know, the proper nutritions and drinks to take, the proper medicine to take, you know, just to keep fit. You know, he's an expert on it, allegedly. How does that work? Look, I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. There's no group more disgusting than the LeBron James fan base. There's nobody. They try to turn themselves into victims, but in reality, they are by far the most disgusting fan base that we have in NBA. It's not even close. It is not. LeBron fans are the only set of NBA fans that I've encountered in 20 plus years being an NBA fan that will take it to the extent where they now start taking personal shots at you. They'll want to threaten bodily harm towards you because they love LeBron James. LeBron fans were even making fun of Kobe Bryant's death. Yes, they do. How do I know? They even message me. Kobe's dead, bro. Let it go. They get pleasure out of this. Why? Because they love LeBron James so much. So to see Nick Wright take a shot like this, it's well within who these people are. It's well within who they are. But then they want to cry, oh my God, you're saying LeBron takes PEDs. That's the reason he's playing so long. That's unbecoming of you. It's unbecoming of you. But then you got people like Nick Wright. You guys just don't understand how much these guys are bothered by Michael Jordan. I don't even think Michael Jordan knows Nick Wright exists on Earth. I really don't believe so. I think if Michael Jordan was walking down the street and saw Nick Wright, he wouldn't even notice him. He wouldn't even know who the hell he was if he walked into a room. He wouldn't know. And these guys are bothered by MJ. It is clear. It is clear. Just the announcement that he's coming to talk basketball is already a problem. Because now he's going to be in front of the faces of NBA fans. And that goes against everything they have worked for, which is to try to warp the minds of young, impressionable NBA fans. And they got all kind of people in media plants, which is what they are. They know who they are. They know who they are getting paid under the table to change their opinions and switch it up. Y'all know who y'all is. If you feel offended by it, you already know it's you. Y'all up there changing your views. 1 minute, oh man, Kobe and Jordan were the GOATs. Next minute, Kobe number 9. Like, yo, son, what happened, bro? What happened to you? Where did these weird ass opinions come from? I don't know. I'm just trying to get a bag, bro. So I'm going to say anything. Don't nobody respect you dudes. If you can't be successful by keeping it a stack and being yourself, and you got to turn into this character, we don't respect you. We don't. I'm sorry. I give more credit to the person that's actually saying what they are, and they got 20,000 subs, but they saying what they believe. Instead of some bozo dude that you see on TV earning millions of dollars, lying, saying whatever it takes just for a check. We have no respect for these dudes. So Nick Wright saying this, there's no surprise. But if he believes that Jordan could be a gambling expert, hey, look, I think LeBron can join one of these companies that have to deal with health and fitness and explain to us the proper nutrition, proper medicine that we need to take, the proper juices we need to drink in order to be as healthy as he does. I mean, because sleep can't be the only thing. Is that what you're telling me? I mean, LeBron seems to be an expert. I mean, allegedly. You see how that works? You see how all of a sudden now y'all having a titty attack? Oh my God, he's talking about LeBron James. I gotta strangle. Oh my God. You don't understand these dudes. And they can't stand us. And I'm still surprised that we even got a channel to talk about it, because you don't know just how low LeBron fans and his people can go. We just recently got back from New York here, so we're back in our normal studio here producing content regularly. But while I was away, I wasn't able to catch up on news the way that I traditionally would. So last night, after the end of the Denver Nuggets Oklahoma City Thunder game, I was just there relaxing, and some information was brought to my attention by Mitch, who works with us, and he sends me this article, which was essentially highlighting some comments that LeBron James made about Michael Jordan, really questioning his career. So we did a live about it. We talked about it. We had close to 2,000 people in the building as we did that live. So as I woke up today, I just kind of sat back and thought about, some of the comments that we received from that live and what people were saying. And I began to realize that, look, there's a bigger issue here, right? There's a bigger issue here. And this issue, I believe, has a lot to do with jealousy and insecurity towards a player that essentially says nothing. Michael Jordan says nothing. He doesn't have no Twitter. He's not on Instagram, none of that. The news broke recently that he's going to be a special contributor to NBC Sports, and it damn near broke the entire internet. That's how excited everybody was, right? So as I was reading this article and I sat back and I thought to myself, I said, man, for you to go this far and try to dissect somebody's career to this extent, it shows that there's some serious insecurity here, because if you were 100% comfortable and confident in what you had going on in your career and your story, you wouldn't feel the need to try to go back there and try to relitigate or retell a story about a player like MJ that so many of us already knew. So this is the article that I want to get into for those people who didn't see the live. But before we even get into what this article had to say, today's video is brought to you by a sponsor, Prize Picks. All right, so let's get into this article here. And it has the following headline saying, "They act like he did it all on his own. LeBron argues Michael Jordan gets too much credit for his championships. LeBron wanted to remind fans that MJ didn't win all by himself. LeBron James has always accepted that comparisons amongst players are a natural part of the NBA landscape. However, he has occasionally found himself frustrated by the constant scrutiny he faces in light of Michael Jordan's greater number of championships. In a candid statement, King James once expressed his discontent with fans who frequently diminish his accomplishments while lauding Jordan's legacy. Bron emphasized that the fervent admiration for Michael Jordan often leads to an exaggerated perception of his contributions to the Chicago Bulls championship run. By stressing his point, James argued that it's essential for fans and analysts alike to remember that winning a championship is fundamentally a team effort. Ultimately, James's perspective challenges the prevailing notion that Jordan single-handedly carried the Bulls to success. In fact, Bron even cited a few scenarios which highlighted the collective work of the Bulls in achieving those remarkable feats. "I don't think MJ ever had a Game 7 in the finals," James once said in 2016. And people say, oh, well, he was able to close it out early, and they act like he did it all on his own. They forget about the shot by John Paxson on the left wing. You know what's really, the crazy thing? In that particular game in Phoenix, MJ didn't even have the ball in his hands. Scottie Pippen brought the ball up. Charles Barkley went for the steal. Pippen threw it down to Horace Grant, and he got the defense out of place because Barkley went for that gamble. They rotated to Horace Grant, and Horace Grant threw it to Paxton. MJ didn't have to do nothing. MJ didn't have nothing to do with that play, he further pointed out. Those are LeBron's comments. What are my thoughts about this? I think at the heart of this, there lies insecurity and jealousy. I gave the example about the boy and the girl in the live yesterday. I'm going to give it here. What this sounds like is like a guy who is jealous of the other guy that the girl he likes. So what he does is, instead of trying to be a better person and being more attractive or just moving on and looking for somebody else, what he then tries to do is go to that girl and start saying, well, I know you like him, but he's not really that great. He's not really that good looking. I mean, look, he's not that smart. Look, he failed this exam here. And it's like, instead of talking about what makes you great, you're trying to poke holes in the legacy of somebody else. If that's not insecurity and jealousy, what is it? Number one. Number two, I can't find any quotes of Michael Jordan going back and saying, well, LeBron is not as great as you think he is because in this particular moment he did this and this. But now maybe he has private conversations with his inner circle, possibly. But I can't find any audio or anything like that out there, articles or quotes of Michael Jordan doing this about LeBron. And to me, it screams insecurity. And the crazy part is his fan base comes to us and say, hey, man, what are you going to do when LeBron James retires? What are you going to talk about? What you going to do? What you going to do? And I'm sitting there saying, I'm like, what would LeBron's purpose in life be if it wasn't for Michael Jordan? What will LeBron's purpose in life be without Michael Jordan? What is this fixation over this guy? What is it all about? And then people try to chastise us for pointing this out. It's like, how dare you bring this up? You're pointing it out. You're a hater. It's like we're just supposed to sit here and let you guys twerk uncontrollably, pouring honey all over the table, hollering, screaming, shaking, moving. And if somebody says something, oh, they hate him. But this is ridiculous behavior. It's ridiculous behavior. LeBron is a freaking billionaire. Why did it bother you to that extent? Hence the reason why in 2016, he went out there and planted a narrative. This right here made me the GOAT. The guy said, this right here made me the GOAT, talking about a team accomplishment. But now wants to talk about the importance of a team, the importance of understanding that you win with a team. I'm lost. Forgive me. I find this to be incomprehensible. It's not palpable what's being said here. It's like, not only are you hating on Jordan, you're making yourself look like a bozo, because we all know you take the credit for everything. And whenever you fail, all your teammates get the blame. At least that's been the pattern for the last, 7, 8 years or whatever. That's been the pattern. But I don't understand, what is this thing like? No matter what you say, people are still going to hold Jordan in a higher regard. No matter what you or Nick Wright or all of these guys say, no one is changing their opinions. People have pretty much come to the conclusion, the vast majority of us, that MJ is the GOAT, and the only people that believe LeBron James is the GOAT are his fans. I've said it before, and I'm going to reiterate this once more. NBA fans, whether you're Dirk Nowitzki fans, Larry Bird fans, Magic Johnson fans, whoever it is, Kobe Bryant fans, we all concede Jordan is the GOAT. The only group that is still holding on for dear life is LeBron. They're the only ones that think LeBron is the GOAT. Outside of LeBron fans, everybody else has seen the light, except these dudes. They're still out there sleepwalking. We were amongst the people that broke the news that Michael Jordan is going to be joining NBC Sports as a special contributor. When that news came out, there was extreme excitement all throughout the sports world. NBA fans were super excited about it. A bunch of people spoke about it. The only people that were not excited about this, of course, were LeBron supporters, because now it means that the more important person is in the room, and now their insecurity is showing, right? So people have talked about this, etc. But then this morning I was doing some research and I came across a pretty interesting update here from Fadeaway World. It's all in various websites as well, but saw it here with the following headline saying Michael Jordan won't do live segments for NBC's coverage of the NBA. So let's get into what this report says. It says the NBA world was excited to hear that Michael Jordan may be making yet another return to the NBA. However, this time as a part of the media instead of a player or owner. NBC announced that Jordan will be a special contributor in their NBA coverage for next season. Of course, at age 62, one could not expect Jordan to return as a player, but this turned out to be very contrary to the public perception that Jordan likes to keep away from the public eye and doesn't like to make public appearances. Moreover, since 2023, he has sold his majority stake in the Charlotte Hornets. People assume Jordan wanted to take a break from the game. Now, a report has emerged that suggests that Jordan will only do taped segments as a part of his deal with NBC. The deal announcement did not clearly explain Jordan's role with NBC, and the report's author, Alex Sherman, claims there's a reason that the role is still nebulous, I hope I pronounce that properly. But fair reader, I'm here to serve. I'm told the initial plan is for Jordan to appear in tape segments during the season to provide analysis that will air during pre-game shows or halftime shows. How that evolves over time is still to be determined. The deal with Jordan was orchestrated by longtime NBC Sports executive John Miller, who has a decades-long relationship with Jordan. Okay, so whoever wrote this article is a bozo. And I hope you see it. You're a bozo. Because I can see you're taking slight shots at Jordan. Like, I see what you're doing there. This must be another LeBron James website here. Anyway, what are my thoughts about this? First of all, I don't think this is an issue at all. Number one, Jordan is worth $4 billion. Why would somebody worth $4 billion be sitting down in the studio live when he can be doing other things like enjoying his $4 billion? That's number one. Number two, he's pre-recorded. LeBron, almost all of the things that LeBron does is pre-recorded. Number one. Number three, you think Jordan's going to be flying? So no, I don't have any issue with that. The most important thing is this, that we get to hear from Jordan. That's the most important thing. Whether it's live or recorded, it's irrelevant. The fact is we get to hear from him. I don't need him to be there live for me, right? The guy is too important, has too many things to do. He's 62 years old. I'm sure he has better things to do with his time than to sit there in the studio and be doing live shows, right? It doesn't make any sense. The trade-off doesn't make any. I mean, you're worth $4 billion, so I'm 100% sure that whatever he's doing that's helping him to compile these billions, that time that he spent doing that is way more valuable than sitting there in a studio arguing back and forth with players that are less accomplished than him. So to me, I have no issue with it. I don't think it's an issue. I wasn't really expecting him to be live because, Jordan has better things to do. That's number one. Number two, this guy's talking about unscripted as if to say what? Jordan can't answer questions? Like, I'm confused because LeBron can. Like, what are we talking? This is what these guys do. Have you heard LeBron and Michael Jordan speak English? LeBron sounds like he has a hard time. Like, let's stop. They always got to find a way And I'm sick of it. I'm just sick of it. If Kobe was alive, what you going to say? Kobe Bryant had a like, come on, stop. All right? Come on, stop. So to me, look, this isn't bad news. I just think it's that, okay, he won't be there alive. I don't think that's a big issue. Trust me, when he speaks, whether it's pre-recorded, when we react to it, it's going to make some serious news anyway. It ain't got to be live. It don't have to be live at all. I have no issue with it whatsoever. It's his prerogative, and I wouldn't expect somebody worth $4 billion or whatever it is to be sitting down in the studio doing a show. Like, I just don't see it. Right? I'm sure they have better things to do with their time than that. So these are my thoughts, folks. You guys weigh in. Let me know what you think about it, and we catch you guys on the next show, and I'm out.